Hello, how are you guys doing? Today we are talking about living alone. So, am I the only one who often get asked by family and friends, "Hey Anisi, have you met anyone yet? It's not good to live alone. God didn't create a woman to live alone." They start quoting the Bible. I need to find somebody. Sometimes living alone, it happens by choice or it's life, right? It's just, you just cannot go out on the street and say, "Hey, I'm living alone, I'm looking for a mate, can you come live with me?" That is very risky, and that is endangering yourself, putting yourself in danger. So I think people have to understand that sometimes there's so much you can do. That is, if you really want companionship, then you have to be intentional about that. And sometimes it's just not going to happen. I have already made terms with the fact that probably I will spend the rest of my life living alone, and I'm at peace with it, because this is my reality, and I have to continue my life and be happy, you know. So I just want to talk about how I have coped with living alone. And living alone can be, it has its pros and it has its cons. And I know a lot of people glorify living alone, but I have many friends, I have relatives who live alone, and they do um, share their concerns about it, their fears about it, and it can be tough, especially as we get older. It can be really tough. I recently had a friend who lives alone, and she was ill and she had to have surgery, and she had nobody, but she had a best friend, and that best friend flew in to be with her during her surgery. And I think she's very lucky to have a best friend that can do that. But it can get tough. I remember there was a time when I projected myself as an 80-year-old woman, and I saw myself on my balcony, on my rocking chair, and I was all alone. And that scared the living hell out of me, because as an 80-year-old woman, you don't really have much energy. There's so much you can do to help yourself. You need food, you need to get laundry done. So it really scare me to see myself as an 80-year-old living alone. It was a very sad situation. And I promised myself, you know what, Anisi, you have to take it one day at a time. Don't go back there. It's not healthy. So just take it one day at a time. And my first step, the first thing I would encourage is that you take it one day at a time. Right now, this very moment is all we have. Not the next second, not the next minute, not the next hour. We do not know anything about tomorrow. Right now, this very moment is all that is guaranteed to us. So we have to take it one day at a time. I know it's a popular cliche, but it's true. Live in the moment. Live in the moment and enjoy the moment that you have right now. Don't try, we create our own problems because we create scenarios in our head that may never happen, and we find ourselves becoming very sad, even becoming lonely when we shouldn't be. All you have to do is just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. You never know, you can step outside your door and meet your Prince Charming if that's what you want. You know, life has a way of just compensating us for all of the times that we have been delayed. So just take it one day at a time. The next thing I have done that has helped me cope with living alone is that I always have something forward. I always have something to look forward to every day. And it doesn't have to be something extravagant. It doesn't have to be a fancy vacation to Europe or the Maldives. It doesn't have to be like buying a house or anything like that. Just something very simple. And for me, it's waking up every day, making my cup of coffee, taking it to my balcony, sitting on my balcony, watching the sunrise, listening to the birds sing. For me, that is my most beautiful, luxurious moment of the day. And also, I have incorporated taking morning walks, long morning walks, like an hour. I get to meet people. I get to see the squirrels, the greenery, the fresh air. I also get to stop at my favorite coffee shop and get my favorite cup of coffee, sit outside, people watch. It's just a good way of waking up every morning knowing that, you know, this is how my day is gonna start. It's gonna start happy. I'm going to be doing something I enjoy. It could be anything. You just decide what that is for you. Maybe it's going to the gym, maybe it's preparing your favorite breakfast, maybe it's meeting a friend for coffee, or meeting a friend, having a walk buddy so that you can go on a walk together every morning. But find something that gives you that excitement to start the day. The next thing is have that one friend, very, very genuine, honest person in your life. It doesn't have to be many people. Maybe for you, it can be a sister, a brother, a cousin, or just a friend. I have this one friend that is very honest, very genuine, who doesn't judge me, whom I can trust, who values confidentiality. And whenever I find myself in this state of sadness a bit, I can call. Just have this one friend that you can call and just be very honest with, be very vulnerable with, because vulnerability is very important. There are times when you just want to cry and you just want somebody to listen to you, or you just want to lay your head on somebody's shoulder. But it takes a very strong person to be that person. You know, it's not anybody you can just call and share things with. I observe that people do not value confidentiality, so you share something with them and the moment you hang up the phone, they're already sharing it with somebody else. So I pay very close attention to the people in my life and who I choose to share my vulnerability with, because sometimes it can get a little ugly and you just really want to cry. So find that one person that have your back in that way. And the next thing I have observed is that sometimes there are people who will call me and they will say, oh, how was your weekend? What did you do? Where did you go? Did you meet anybody? Like, I try to avoid those phone calls. I really try to avoid those phone calls, because maybe I like my home. Maybe I enjoy being home. I'm not a social butterfly. I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody, and I prefer to stay home and cook and bake my cake and read, and you know, I have all different projects that I'm working on. So I find things that will bring me joy and that will you know, take boredom away. I have to say that I I don't know what it feels like to be bored. I know this sounds weird, but I do not know what it feels like to be bored, to a point where I hardly pick up my phone to call anyone. And I know that's a bad thing. I know I should be checking on family and checking on friends, but sometimes I get so caught up with doing my little things around the house that I don't know what boredom feels like. So yeah, these are the things that I do. Avoid those types of people. That always reminds me that I'm living alone. I don't know if it's to hurt me or to remind me of that. I don't know. So I really avoid those types of conversations and people, and I just fill my life with things that bring me joy. If you live alone, tell me how you cope. I know it can be very difficult, and if you live alone, it's nothing to be ashamed of, because even people with children, when their children go out into this world, the children don't even visit. It doesn't mean that because you have family, you have sisters, you have brothers, you have children, that people are always going to be at your home. This is not, I'm from the Caribbean, and this country is completely different from the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, I don't think, when I grew up, I didn't know what this level of living alone was. It's like you always had people around you. Now in this country, whether you have kids or even people that are married, they are living with their partner, but it's like they're living alone. Some people, I have heard news of people who were found in their home for days after they expired, and no one knew, and these people have children. So it's nothing that you are doing wrong, it's how it's set up. So if you're living alone, let me know what's your situation like in terms of how do you cope. Maybe we can learn from each other. Yeah, if you like the video, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel. My name is Anisi, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.